everyone, Sam here from Vegas Rock Dog Radio. I'm your host, the queen of rock and roll dogs, and this show is about pets, people, and pop culture. We're definitely going to cover the pop culture part today because in studio with me is Alicia Halloran of Odie's Eyes.
This is Odie right here. We got him with us.
And we've got Miss Gracie here. And we've also got, and she's in town for Super Zoo. I'm going to explain what Super Zoo is in a second. We've got Missy Carmichael here from the Fluff Dog crew. Name your pets off and your miniatures today.
This is Susie, Daphne, and Bijou, and I have Bijou and Daphne here, and then also my mom's dogs, Molly and Lucy, are part of the crew.
So you're managing all of them, yeah?
Yeah, all five.
She's managing all of them. And you live in?
Outside of Cleveland.
Outside of Cleveland. So Missy's in town. We're lucky because we live here. And Super Zoo is the big pet conference. And it's exhibitors of every pet product, food, harness, you name it, that you can actually buy for your pets. They're exhibiting. There's some educational stuff. There are lots of parties and meet and greets. And it's a crazy time in Vegas. So it's great that you're here. Are you glad that you came?
I am.
Is this
really
your first
excited.
Super Zoo?
Yes. This is my first time.
I tell you something, you two, they were trooping through those aisles yesterday while I was moaning about going through the aisles. That's kind of how I did it yesterday. Like, I've had enough now. And my biggest mistake was actually sitting in the press room for the third time and then not wanting to actually leave. And I thought, I can't sleep here overnight. Yes. But it's quite the convention, isn't it?
It is. It's really amazing.
Have you connected with some good brands?
I think that we have. When we were leaving, we just were connecting with Prefer Pets, who's one of our favorite carrier makers.
Oh, lovely.
And they make the best stuff ever.
Fantastic. So what Alicia and Missy do is they are pet influencers specifically on Instagram. Now, I know lots of people will say, but how do they influence on Instagram? People only post pictures and a few words and da-da-da-da, but you do influence people through your pets and in a very successful way. How many followers do you have?
We're over 50,000.
That's amazing. And Odie has
over 35,000.
Over 35,000. Yep. So, which is more than me. I'm jealous of the dogs. But what comes with that? I mean, we all know people love pictures of pets. They do.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
But I think you're at a different level of the type of photos that you post. Let's start with you, Missy, first. Do you have something in mind where you go, you kind of map out how you are going to put your pieces out?
Absolutely.
Right. So what's your method? How do you?
It really depends on the day and how I'm feeling and how the dogs are feeling and what their tolerance level of taking pictures is.
Yes.
But I try to find like the best products that I think my followers will also really enjoy, both aesthetically and for health purposes too.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when you're an influencer, your followers really trust you to give them the best information. Yeah. So if you just have an awesome photo, whether it's, in action or just a still shot of them showing something and explaining how you love it and why you love it, you get a really good response from that.
There is a responsibility that comes along with
that,
isn't there? I mean, because, you don't want to just because you get a free something, or even if you were paid for it, but it's not a great product. I mean, it's not great to actually share that with people that you influence, and then they go, oh, that wasn't so great, and then the trust is gone.
Exactly.
Right.
So how do you do yours? What's your method, Miss Halloran?
I think it is very much about passion, and that one of the things that when Odie loves something, he loves something.
Right.
So that same idea of like, if we're kind of lukewarm, it's more of a chore.
Yes.
My God, I just love this. We met these people just yesterday.
So
the
cute.
the Pucho Poncho, which is just fantastic. And she's all squirmy about it. But that was just like completely organic. Like, I think you had heard about her, and then we went and met her and her stuff and her passion and the way she makes it is just wonderful.
Yeah,
so it's really fun to be able to post about it and to be able to talk about it and what their passion is. So it's really sharing passions of different companies. And so working with small companies is also really, really fun.
I think so too, because often a small company may not have a budget, a huge budget or anything like that. So I just find that the smaller companies, I think, really gravitate, I think in particular, to Instagram. Instagram is everything. It's visual in so many ways. It's like, it's not just shove any old photo up there, you know. And we love our filters and, you know, all that good stuff. But I think what people may not make the connection with is the brands and why are they working with them? But you are a gateway to their potential customer, aren't you?
Yeah.
Especially with small brands.
Do you have you know, do you have any of your followers that reach out and say, you know, what's the best collar, or what's the best harness?
Every day.
Every day?
Yeah, every day. Yeah. Direct messages. Hey, do you have a suggestion for this? I have this going on with allergies. I mean, I have got questions, fashion, food, supplements, everything. And it's important to me to know what I'm talking about and to guide them in a direction that I would be comfortable with my own dogs having as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that, because again, it's back to that trust, isn't it?
Exactly.
It is. Absolutely.
You lose the trust, you lose.
Now, both of you are quite big in your push chairs, aren't you? You like your push chairs for the dogs.
Yes.
We call that a pram in England.
Yes, we call them strollers.
Perambulator is the official Victorian word.
Yes, definitely. Yes.
Which I actually like, perambulator.
I do like that. I do like that very much. A stroller is nice, though. Connotes strolling.
Yes.
And it's funny because some people will look at that and say, oh, that's so ridiculous, pushing a dog around.
Oh, my gosh.
Explain some of the benefits.
Well, let's just explain the first benefit. Blind. He doesn't have any eyes, and so if we need to go somewhere, he will walk. It's fine, but he's not the fastest walker, so we'll definitely be there late. One of the things that our stroller allows us to do, both of these guys are therapy dogs, and we are able to traverse the hotels, the convention centers, to be able to get there, as opposed to wearing them out before they even get to where they're going. So that is the biggest part. And going through Super Zoo, we've got the stroller. We're working the stroller.
Why did I not get in the stroller?
I know, you should just have a stroller.
Or the box like that little girl was in. Passed out for hours.
That was fantastic.
Now, Missy, have you ever used any of a stroller for, say, medical condition? Or?
I have not. My Pekingese, who is almost 15, she doesn't dig the stroller, but my Shih Tzus really like it. They like to walk, but they can only go. Got little legs.
Yeah.
So if they can go in the stroller, they like it. They can still see everything and do everything without being limited, time-wise and
energy-wise.
Energy-wise,
because let me tell you, going through Super Zoo, it is like huge. Like, I don't even know how many paces we've done. I've no idea, and it's a lot. And it's a lot for dogs too.
Yeah.
I do have a friend whose dog had stem cell therapy on their knees. The pushchair stroller was perfect to get the dog out, because it's boring when you're trying to recover and you've got to keep a dog still. You know, so there are some brilliant benefits to that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And they're all souped up. They're not basic, are they?
No. No.
There's a drink holder.
Right.
Storage underneath.
And the product, the Gen 7 pets, that's our favorite strollers.
You know what? They are fabulous, aren't they?
The designers of the Gen 7 pet strollers are former baby stroller designers. So those are the marketing woman we talked to said that this is easier to fold up than her kid's stroller. And that you can do it all with one hand. You can close it, lock it, and put it in the car with one hand.
That's fantastic.
That's how light it is. It is the best ever.
Yeah, so there are a lot of pluses. I mean, after I left you yesterday, I missed the last shuttle.
I heard that.
Back to the remote parking lot. And trust me, if I'd had a dog to walk in that distance,
you would have had to carry them.
I would have had to carry the dog. It was a living nightmare. So
oh my gosh.
Yeah, I needed a stroller. Thank God I didn't have a dog with me. Let's talk about the quality of photos. Do you use your phones? Do you use cameras? What do you prefer to use?
I use both.
Yeah.
I have to say I prefer my actual camera. I prefer what I get from it, but it isn't always the easiest to use. So I post more of what I use, what I do with my phone. But especially if I'm working with a brand and I want to create a photograph, I want to use the highest quality.
Yes.
And if I'm going to an event, I want to have the highest quality. But it isn't always the easiest.
Not always practical, is it?
Right, exactly. And the phone is completely practical, and it's right there. So it's easy to take pictures. And with Instagram, it's easy to post to stories really fast. So you can just kind of throw things up there. in the moment.
I don't think people expect stories to be all slick. I don't think they're expecting, oh, it's super slick, because I mean, some of the GIFs that we use are just, they're not great looking, but they convey a bit of a message.
Yes.
Do you use any kind of software, apps to, enhance your photos?
I have like a Photoshop editor app that
I love that one. And it's on the phone. It's so good. It is so good.
It is really good.
Because we all love a filter.
Yeah.
We all love a filter. I wanted to say gefilte fish. I always say that every time I say filter. The whole Jackie Chan thing. I'm down a whole different path right now. And I've seen what gefilte fish. And no, that's not happening.
No.
So
and not a good filter.
We love filters. What's your favorite filter?
I do all of my editing in Instagram. I have to say, even if I have a picture that I'm not going to post, but I need to just kind of zhuzh it up a little bit. Yep, I will put it in Instagram, because I know those filters. I've worked with them for years.
Yeah.
So it's like just second. Photoshop is also a good one, but there's more to it. There's more.
There is more work, isn't there?
Yeah. And
do you use the same filters as a way of being consistent? Or, because like some people say, well, my brand colors are blah, blah, blah.
Right.
On there is always these colors. I mean, or is it a mood? For me, it's a mood. I'm like, I'm feeling like black and white today.
It just depends.
Yes. I will say that I like a little bit of a contrasty picture.
Yeah,
I like contrasty, bold color, and sharp. Those are the things. Maybe with a little blur off to the side or something like that. So it's not necessarily a filter, but I have the certain editing tools that like this much of that, this much of that, and then I go through all of them, and then
I used to say to Jim, it's extreme editing, where everything was on 100%.
Yes!
Like everything.
Oh my gosh, there are those days.
It was mental.
There are those days.
Structure, I'm like, I want this to look all like deconstructed.
Right.
And, urban. It's amazing, isn't it? What you can
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I've seen you take pictures with your phone upside down.
Oh, I do all the time.
Yeah,
I do all the time.
Explain that to me.
Well, one of the things about Odie is that since he's blind, there's a lot of, if I touch his head, he'll look up, and sometimes he'll stop and look up, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
But other times he's just kind of sitting with his head down, and it's not that he's sad or glum, but it also creates a great shadow.
Yeah.
And so if your phone is like this and your camera's up here and his face is down there, you won't get it. But if you flip your phone, you put the lens underneath him.
There's a method to the madness.
Oh yeah. And then all of a sudden he's smiling. All of a sudden, like the whole demeanor is changed.
There's no shadow.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's fantastic.
So it's all about composition. I mean, you can do a lot of composition in your editing, but I have a BFA in photography.
I know you do. You're so fancy.
I'm so fancy, and I use it for Instagram. So fancy, but one of the things that I do whenever I take any picture of my animals, of anything, is I check the four corners.
Yeah.
And in that checking, it's like, do I want those things in there? Because sometimes you can, like, just take a picture, perfect shot, and then there's this, like, huge thing right there that you didn't notice.
It's a very important point, because when I started to teach myself photography, and I was doing black and white, I was not looking with black and white eyes, so I was not looking at contrast. It wasn't whites and blacks. And you're right, you are looking through a camera or you're looking through your phone, but there are things you don't see unless you consciously say, I need to really look around. So the four corners, that's a really good tip.
And the DSLR I have, I went through a whole pile of them, and then I had to finally get one that had a viewfinder, because that's my training. That's how I know, and it's so easy to check my four corners whenever I'm taking a picture that way. So I just have to translate that to my camera screen.
Now, you've got lots of dogs, so you have to coordinate a lot of dogs at the same time.
I do.
How on earth? I do love a photo, though, where someone's doing their own thing.
I
must admit.
Always backwards.
Just looking up, got the leg up in the air or whatever.
There's usually at least one doing their own thing, and depending on what it is, it makes the photo even better.
I think so, too.
Turning, looking up here, or one's yawning. Sometimes we have that. It just depends on
I like the fact that
situation.
it doesn't really matter to you. I love that.
No.
Because a lot of people could get hung up on, I've got so many dogs and no one's looking at the camera, and this is so much pain.
The perfection
but they're dogs,
of it.
They're goofy.
Best
they're
statement.
going to do silly things, and sometimes those make the best pictures. There are pictures that I almost don't post. I'm like, I don't know about this. I posted it's the
the most popular
picture.
photograph.
Yep.
Just because it shows more of a personality.
Well, I think I
It's
like
not
the
so
fact that you
staged.
said they're dogs. Just
Yeah.
let them do what
Yeah.
they do.
Yeah.
You know, they
Yeah.
don't need to be trained puppets.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's Instagram for goodness
Right,
sake.
right.
You know?
And when you have them, you know, Odie, as I said, when he knows about a camera, he's amazing in that way. But it takes him a little bit of time. Like, you put him where he needs to be, he sniffs around a bit, and then there's a point that it's almost like he exhales and is like, okay. And then wherever you want him to look, whatever you want him to do, you just very gently touch his little
touch
face.
him, yeah.
He's like this way, that way. But he can strike a pose. I think last year he met somebody. It was a celebrity vet at Lucy.
Oh, Dr. Karen Halligan.
Yes.
Halligan, similar to your
Halligan,
name.
yes. And so Odie was laying on the ground, and I said, you know, I'd like to get a picture of the two of you. And she didn't know Odie. She didn't know Odie was blind, and we didn't know how asleep Odie was. And she touched his back, and he, like, startled and turned, and he's having a total temper tantrum. And I'm like, okay, let me just get a picture. And he's like, nailed it. One shot. It was amazing. And she the whole time was like,
Now, I find Odie, the way Odie, you know, posts on Instagram, because it is Odie that's posting.
yes, it is his
I
voice.
find he's very witty. Very
Well, he
witty.
is.
I'm like, where did he get all this wit from?
Yeah.
And I guess that's another element of not
Right.
everybody can be witty. It could be,
Right.
you know, you've got someone who's just very funny at writing, or someone's amazing at photography, or just concepts in themselves.
Right.
But I think
Right.
you've got the wittiness down.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
He's a witty guy.
Now the cute factor of, oh my gosh. Name the dogs. Give me all the names again, because they're great names.
Susie, Bijou, Lucy, Daphne, and Molly.
It's plenty of dogs, isn't it?
It
So
is.
I do want to point out that Susie is Susie as
The-
Susie and the Banshees,
Yes.
not Susie like
Well, I'm going to take that one step
Susan,
further.
Susie.
You
Yes.
know about this, don't you? An ex-boyfriend's brother played in Susie and
Oh
the
my God,
Banshees.
crazy.
There's a pop culture reference.
Right.
Here we
for you.
go.
I love
I
it.
love the names. I always think when you've got a great name, they'll live up to a great
Oh,
name.
they
yes,
do.
You
they
know,
really
they'll
do.
match that
they
name.
really do.
Now, oh God, no.
I was going to
you
say.
Tell me about
I
Miss
was
Gracie.
going to say. We were walking with her today, and somebody asked her name, and I said Gracie, and they're like, she looks just like a Gracie, and it's true. Like when
She
that
does.
name like
When she
settled
has-
on her,
when she
it
has
was
her
like,
dresses on.
yeah.
Oh, she's
Oh,
so
she's
fancy.
so fancy.
I mean, look at this. I mean, she is fancy pants today.
Yeah.
Miss Fancy Pants.
Yeah.
Instagram stories. I love to them. I don't have a lot of time. I need to do more of them, I think.
Yeah.
When I discovered I could actually search for GIFs, I was just so
right.
excited.
Yes.
I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so brilliant. So I find them really, really fun. I find myself going to them first before I even look through my feed, to be honest with
Right.
you. I find them just a lot more fun, exciting. And there are certain people I follow that I really, really like. Now we've just added in Instagram TV. What do you think
Right.
about that? How do you feel about that?
I am, well, obviously it's very new, so I'm not that versed in it, but I have posted a few videos on
Yep.
there and getting a lot of
Getting a
views
lot
on
of good
there.
feedback.
Yeah.
Definitely getting a lot of
It's
good feedback.
interesting, isn't it?
It's going to be interesting in the idea that wants to start to compete with YouTube,
Right.
Yeah.
and how that's going to play out for any of those things.
I think so too. I mean, I know the stock went up.
I'm sure it did.
Facebook stock went up by $5 that day it launched.
I bet.
And I
bet.
think a lot of us are early adopters anyway.
Yeah.
Straight away, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, what is this? I need to figure this out. Blah blah
Right.
blah blah blah. You
Right,
know.
right.
And I mean, you can't go live with it. That I think you do need to know. You can't go live on Instagram TV. It is uploaded videos.
Right.
I do like the idea. I think we've got so used to and trained in landscape videos these days, but now this is only takes a vertical
Yes.
video. So I ended up uploading one that I
That's
know was not
really
vertical,
nice.
and it kind of zoomed in on me a little bit too
Yeah.
close. But I kind of want to just get a video up straight away, and now I know
Right.
how to do it.
Yes.
But I do do the vertical, because if you buy yourself a vertical video is so much easier
Oh,
to
yes.
take as
Yes.
opposed to you're trying to hold it and press the button with your thumb.
Right.
It's a living nightmare.
Right, right.
So I kind of like that about it, and again I've had good response from that as well.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's TV, so you have to think of things as like episodes, don't you? Next episode.
Right, right.
But I still like the idea of going live.
Yeah.
Which is what you do in Instagram stories.
Right.
So I still like that real time.
It's a matter of time.
Oh, what's happening? And you get a little notification your favorite person has gone live. So it'll be interesting to see who utilizes it. I could see a lot of people like me that uploaded that landscape.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, they did it wrong like me, but I knew I did it wrong.
Right.
But that's a very interesting addition to it. The thing is, I would like it so that we can actually expand our profiles a lot more on Instagram, because we only have that one sole link.
Yes.
And what I did notice when Instagram TV happened, your Instagram stories made the link live, the link option to link to an Instagram TV episode.
Interesting.
Oh. Yes. So what I
Super Zeus. So
I haven't had time to really commit.
We haven't even been on Instagram,
which is so weird.
It's so weird.
I live on Instagram, and I haven't
so
been
weird.
the last
You'll
few days.
just
Feels
be.
very weird.
I think as soon as it's over, you're gonna see a lot of action.
Yes.
Tell everybody the name of your Instagram account.
Fluff Dog Crew.
Fluff Dog Crew.
Odie's Eyes.
Odie's Eyes.
Odie's Eyes.
I do. I think it's a great platform. I like how visual it is. I like how people are pretty much nice on there. They like
and the
animals.
Animal
and
community, the dog community, and even the cat community is incredible in terms of support.
Yes.
In terms of emotional support, financial support. If you need anything, if you're grieving about anything, and you post it, people just pour their hearts out.
They do.
And it's so wonderful.
It's very.
So
I find
wonderful.
it to be, for the most part, super positive.
Yes.
And other platforms aren't so much.
Right.
And it can be a bit of a drain.
Yeah.
And it sucks the fun out of it as well.
It really does.
Now, when you're working with a brand, how do you negotiate? I mean, are you negotiating just product? Are you negotiating product and payment? How do you gauge what you want to do? Because I mean, I've promoted stuff, I didn't get a penny for it, and I loved it. I've got to tell people about this. So how do you kind of gauge who you want to work with, who you don't want to work with?
Well, I think a lot of it is it kind of starts with product. That you find something that you like, you can contact the company, talk about it, say I really like it, I really want to do more, and maybe they'll send you more stuff. And you're kind of learning what they do. And I think that from there, if you have a good rapport and a good relationship with them, then you're able to say, hey, why don't we take this to the next level? And that can start to include payment for specific posts, so that you're really like a brand ambassador.
I was just going to say, who do you brand ambassador for? That's not even a word.
Right.
I mean,
right now, I just signed on with Halo Pet Food.
Okay.
Cuddle clones.
Oh, yes.
I have a cuddle clone in my Susie, and it looks just like
her. How much are they? Because they're beautiful.
They are around $200.
And they are clones of your pets.
But they are
not a live
incredible.
pet, of course.
Right. No, not an actual.
They are amazing. The likeness is amazing.
They are. They really are. I love them.
What trends are you seeing, would you say, on Instagram with pet products? That right now people are, this is really hot right now. What would you say? Or anything that you saw at Super Zoo that you thought, that might be something that we see more of?
I think that probiotics are like the thing right now.
Yes.
For people, for animals, it's like we're just going to probiotic everything.
Yes. Yeah. I just had Gregory Lucas on the show. He said the same thing. Goat's milk.
Right. Goat's milk.
I'm also seeing a lot of activity with people wanting to give fermented foods to pets as well, which is great, which is your prebiotic stuff.
Yes.
So I think we're going to see that as well.
Yeah.
So,
well, food is always like the hottest topic.
Yeah.
Everywhere, what you're feeding, how you're feeding, all of those things, and that's something that's really bringing the pet industry into present time, because you still have companies that have such not so good food.
That was very nice.
Very
of you.
politically
very
correct,
PC.
right? Yes. Such not so really don't ever. Right? And often vet prescribed. Don't ever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big topic. It's a really big, and it's an exciting topic.
It is exciting.
It does improve the health when
it
you
does.
really know what you're doing. It does. So, what are some of your favorite products? What do you like? What are you like? This is a must. This is a must. This is a must.
Well, I'm gonna say because we did just leave them, and I love them. They create a carrier that allows you allows them to be completely enclosed. Everything zips up.
Oh, wow.
So you can open it so they have a view and everything, but everything zips up otherwise.
So you got the options there.
Yes,
that's
exactly.
Great.
The other thing that we noticed as we were leaving, Odie was modeling a carrier out like a light, asleep. And when I went to pull him out, she said, they're soundproofed. Like we put the padding all the way through. So just putting my head near, it was like,
that's
it's nice
brilliant.
In there.
Yeah.
And I said, we should all just wear these on our heads at the show.
Yeah.
I mean,
a big dog
my
carrier
gosh.
on your head.
That's how she tests it out before
Yeah,
she puts
I believe
the
it.
product out.
Yeah.
Oh, I love a product that is not just got great form, but it functions
Yes.
so well. It solves a problem.
And what I love about her is that, as she's like fawning over Odie, she's like, this is why I've made these. This is why.
Oh my
and
goodness.
that is just like, I mean, we warm her heart, but she warms our heart. So to me, that's kind of a perfect relationship.
Yeah.
And there are others that, we're kind of building and growing. All of these are based on relationships. And you have to create, again, not only trust with your followers, but with the people that you're supporting. Trust that you're going to post for them.
Yep.
Trust that you're going to follow through. Because if they're going to pay you, if you're going to ask for payment,
it's a job.
and you don't post,
You've got to do it.
then you're not doing your job.
You've got to do it.
Yeah.
I love the fact that that's soundproof. That's
oh my gosh.
brilliant.
Yeah, you've got to stop by them.
It's brilliant. Yeah, so I'll put that on my list.
Yeah.
As I trudge around.
I'm also going to go with the Gen 7 pet stroller.
Yeah. Well, I tell you a little story about them. So last year, I talked to one of the guys at the booth, and I said, look, your product's gorgeous. They're beautifully made. The designs are lovely. Mm-hmm. But beyond that, it's not a huge appeal to me because that particular carrier is not crash test approved. And I really think you should do that. I think it's so important. There are very few products that are crash test approved, and why not make a pet safe when you travel? Well, I go back yesterday, and he goes, I remember you. Because we did exactly what you told. And we got a carrier crash test approved.
Brilliant.
And that's another one I can add to my list.
Yep.
Of with confidence. Your pets are going to be safe when they travel. It's crash test approved. I was so thrilled, and I go, I think that's the first time anyone's ever listened to me. But now, I don't mind the cost of that.
Right.
Not only does it look good, and it's well made, it is safe. So I don't mind that cost. So
absolutely.
Solved a problem.
Absolutely.
I think it's wonderful.
Yeah.
What else do you like? What kind of stuff do you
One of the newer things I really like is the scrubby bath mitts. And I've tried it before, and we met them today. It's a bath mitt that already has the soap inside. It's hypoallergenic, which is a big thing for me because my Shih Tzu Bijou has a lot of allergies. You just wet it, rub it on them like a little mitt. It goes over your hand, and then you don't need to rinse it. You just wipe it off with a towel in between baths.
Or if, like, say, for example, you go down to the beach.
Yeah.
You
Muddy
know,
paws,
you come off the
sandy
beach.
paws, faces, and you can reuse them too as long as it wasn't like super muddy or super dirty. So I'm really into those. They've been a really big helper for me.
And you've both got dogs with hair.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lots of hair on the face, and it does take more work and maintenance and the in-between stuff, you know.
Definitely.
I mean, Mr. Twix, my dog, just keeps rolling in the dirt. I mean, impossible to keep him clean.
Yeah.
He's such a boy, that dog, I tell you. But it is exciting, though, to go around Super Zoo and see what there is. I mean, there's some crazy stuff.
Oh, my
like,
gosh.
oh, no, that's ridiculous.
Yes.
And then I found a couple of products I really liked where it solves a problem. It solves a problem for me. I saw a great harness for dogs that need to are in rehab or post-rehab from hip and knee surgeries. But it was different from your normal nylon sling that bunches up, and it's a bit of a nightmare, and it's a bit generic inside. Gingerly. And I thought it was brilliant. They make them for boys and the girl dogs because you know you don't want to put a sling over your little boy's tiggle, as we call it in England. Padded, so it was comfortable, and it came in different lengths of handles. It was depending on whether you've got a big tall greyhound or a teeny tiny like these. And they thought of everything, and a little like a buckle thing that kept the handles together. So if you actually let go, the whole thing didn't fall off. And I thought that was brilliant. Because so many people are struggling. They're trying to do the towel method around their dog's belly, and that doesn't help. It's a big problem though when you've got a dog. You've got to keep still. Oh, and the whole thing could clip to a harness. harness as well, so you had a little bit of control here without them like galloping ahead. I thought it was brilliant. So I do like a product that solves a problem.
Yes.
But I only see Instagram just right now just growing for all these brands and for the influencers and connecting with each other.
Yeah.
And it's and I think people just thought, oh, it's just people posting pictures.
Yeah. Well, one thing that we talk about a little bit in what one of the booths that we went to today had said to us, we asked, do you work with influencers? And he said, well, we don't sell directly to the public, so it becomes tricky. So people would then have to go and find a store that had our stuff, and it's like, well, that's actually why we exist.
Right.
It was like he described the reason why, in the way of saying, no, we don't do that. So
you bridge the gap.
Right, we bridge the gap. It was so interesting to hear it's such an old school kind of like, well, we're going to talk to stores because those are the people that carry our stuff. But it's like, well, how do people get to the store?
And look at the sheer amount of, just saying hi to Jody, who I just snagged at the last minute to come in, like go down the strip, come down the strip and see us. It's been a great day, actually, of interviews. I mean, we've got a couple more to go, but I hope you get to watch all of them. You're the gateway. Look at you, how many people that follow you, that you influence, that trust you. Now, and this is what I also told brands. I go, well, we don't pay for that. And I go, yeah, but you can pay for the privilege to access those people, and that's what you're paying for, is access to your people. And that's important. And I think it's a brilliant way to market. If you don't have the people, who has them?
Right, targeted marketing.
It's surprising how many brands are just like, no, we don't do that. Like, why not? Why don't you take it? Because it's cheap.
Yeah.
Sometimes free advertising.
I mean, you're at like the 90,000 mark between the two of you.
Right.
Not even counting who shares it, tells a friend.
Exactly. And that's Instagram. So there may be 1,000 on Facebook, 1,000 on Twitter. So they're around different places.
And most of us are connected through other social media platforms anyway. It goes from Instagram into Twitter or Facebook, or you can send it directly to someone. So you have to think about how that grows. But like I say, a lot of brands are not quite there yet.
No, it's really like an old school about that.
Don't be old school, old and moldy.
You
do not need to be
so
old school, old. If someone was starting out today on Instagram, looking back on your own experiences and where you started from, what would be one tip that you would give? Either do this or don't do this. What would you say? Any mistakes you made that you're like, I can't believe I did that?
I don't know about mistakes, but what I would say to somebody was stick with it. That's the hardest part. You have to be consistency is huge.
Consistency is huge.
To be consistent about what you're posting. So if you have a dog account, unless your kids are with the dog, you don't post your kids. You don't post your friends, your dinner, all of those things.
You have a separate account for that. That's why I have a separate.
Everything has to be in the voice or in that realm of that animal.
In that space. Yeah, and that's part of your branding.
And it is funny because we've both experienced that, if I post my cats,
people are like,
it's pretty, it's not quite the
You're
same.
Like, come on, we love the cats.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So I would say the consistency of that if it's your dog, then it's your dog. If it's your clothing style, then it's your clothing style. And that they don't...
Open up another account if you need to.
It gets too
Mine's
confusing.
a bit of a mishmash.
It is. But it is fun.
I'm going to go with it.
Yeah. That's the other part, is to have fun.
Yeah.
It is fun for me because I think I convey what my personality is. I love a China teacup.
Yes.
It's a problem. It's a British problem. That's okay.
Yes.
I love
You've got some beautiful ones.
I love a beautiful teacup. Jim thinks it's out of control. It is. I don't care. Of course, I post my dogs. Of course, we post who's coming on the radio show. And then I post a lot of, what Jim and I do with his career musically. Yeah. But I think this is how we started all of our business in the beginning with Vegas Rock Dog clothing for pets. That's how we started it. It was, we love music, we love Vegas, and we love dogs. And so I think everything I post just falls underneath that.
It does.
It does. And we progress them from there into radio and whatever, and I'm just going to keep doing me.
Yeah, I love
I'm kind of a bit like that anyway.
I love it.
I think that is important, though. Don't try and be like someone else's account.
No.
Right.
No.
Right.
You
it
see
has
that.
to be you. It has, I love music. I'm a big 80s fanatic.
Are you?
I totally am.
I'm
I'm a hairstylist, so I love hair and makeup. So if I can figure out ways to incorporate that in the dog's account, I do. But it's never just that.
Like
separate.
if you did your hair to look like dog's ears, like you're like, oh, post that.
I
I
have a picture of both me and Bijou with victory rolls in our hair side by side.
I just love that.
So,
Victory rolls, that's brilliant. And I think you do have to be a little bit clever to tie it in.
Yes.
You know?
Oh yeah. It's just being creative about it.
Yeah.
And not trying.
And I think
the harder you try, the harder
it is for you.
Exactly. It's so much harder.
People know you're trying. Too hard.
Yes.
And I think the platform now is expanded enough. We can get a bit more creative with stories. I love stories.
Yes.
Stories are great.
Yes.
They're just so much fun. It's
Yes.
ridiculous.
You can get so much more information out without plugging up your whole feed.
Right.
Because
And
it's
ton of
annoying
text.
if you post too many pictures on your feed in a
Yes.
day. You know, if you want to post once or twice a day, great, a couple times a week, whatever, but you can't be posting 10, 12 pictures of the same thing. Put them in your stories.
Right.
Because then people can say, yeah, I want to look at those, or I don't, or you can
Yes.
swipe real fast.
That's right.
It's true. It's true.
I think it's a great platform. I say I've had a lot of fun on it myself, and I'm kind of moving a little bit away from some of the others, but that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, we have to evolve.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Instagram's a great place to evolve.
Well, let's
too.
say your accounts one more time on Instagram.
Fluff Dog Crew.
Odie's Eyes.
And this is Odie, and I'm going to lift up Miss Gracie. Miss Gracie and Odie come on TV with me a lot on Fox.
Oh, yeah.
And Gracie recently got married
She did get married.
to a friend of ours and her dog, Red.
Right.
Who was ginger, a redhead like Harry.
Yeah.
And we called it Barkingham Palace,
Right.
and it was a royal dog wedding to raise money for animal rescue.
Yeah.
But they are great on TV. They really love it when Gracie comes in because she's always dressed up to the nines anyway. She's so fancy.
She's a
Look
very
at her. And
fancy
those
girl.
eyes, she's got eyes for her and Odie.
Yes, she's got enough eyes for both
She's
of them.
making up for that. So I think this has been a great interview.
This has been super fun. Super
I
fun.
am thrilled to have you as my
Yeah,
friends.
it was-
I really
Oh,
am.
yes.
And to be able to highlight, you bring it in, and you know, let these brands know what you do and how they can work with you and why they should work with you. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having
Thanks,
us.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.